phases. One phase is in just 3 days from now. Tuhin Sinha with us. He's the national spokesperson of the BJP. Adil Singh Boparai, he's the national spokesperson for the Congress. These two will be representing the two key sides. To get a more general outlook, we'll have Yuvraj Pokharana. He's a columnist, and Kapil Madan, a lawyer and a political analyst. Let me go over first to Adil Boparai from the Congress. Adil, I want to ask you, I'm not sure if you were able to hear what our colleague Pallavi just told us. Essentially, the government has now banned a certain number of apps. One of those apps is the Mahadev app. I want to ask you, Adil, when we took a look at what the Chief Minister had to say on Friday in response to all of this, number one, obviously, he called it utter rubbish. But the second thing he said was, he said, if the government has such a problem with this app, why don't they block it? How do you see this move to finally block the app? Do you see it as the BJP trying to take away wind from underneath the wings of the Congress in this allegation? How do you see it?
Well, Toya, please bear with me for 60 seconds. The first FIR into the Mahadev scam was registered by the Congress party government in Chhattisgarh on the 30th of March 2022, much before the ED came into the picture. For the past 1.5 years, we've registered more than 70 criminal cases. We've made more than 450 arrests. We wrote to the central government and sought issuance of a lookout notice. We wrote to the central government that please ban this app. We've been carrying out raids across the country. Now, I put this question to you as a reasonable and a prudent person. If we had anything to do with the bogus charge which has been leveled by the BJP, why would we initiate police action against the promoters of this app? It is very simple and logical. Point number one. Point number two, the ban by the BJP is much late, much delayed. We'd written to them almost 8 months back that please take action because it appears that there is money laundering going on. However, they sat over our request for over 6 months. And number three, it is the central government which has legalized online betting in this country by imposing 28% GST. So you can't run with the hare and hunt with the hounds. The Bharatiya Janata Party, unfortunately, Toya, has reduced the enforcement directorate to a frontline asset. Today, the ED has become a political player. Okay. They've become hound dogs. And let me underline this. Unfortunately, the enforcement directorate has become a hound dog of the BJP. This is brazen misuse of police authority, and this alters the level playing field. In fact, we've urged the Election Commission of India that this should not be permissible. You cannot use agencies for your political benefit. And I think the BJP spokesperson needs to respond to a very valid and a logical statement. If we were involved, why would we make 450 arrests? Why would we issue or seek the issuance of a lookout notice against the perpetrators of this scam who are sitting in Dubai?
Okay, Mr. Boparai, can I come to you with a quick... Can I come to you with a quick follow-up question? And then I do want to go over to our other panelists. The argument that we are hearing the BJP make, for example, the Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar, he's saying on record, why couldn't the Chhattisgarh government request us to ban the app? This request, as you saw my colleague Pallavi informing us, that this request has come from the ED, not from the Chhattisgarh government. What is the Congress's response to that?
So yeah, they're daft. They're daft. I have no other term to explain what they're doing. The ED investigation has been triggered by the predicate Chhattisgarh FIR. Please understand how the law works. The ED comes into the picture to investigate the allegation of money laundering. There has to be a predicate offense or a scheduled offense. The scheduled offense in this case is the Chhattisgarh FIR. We have written to the government of India to seek issuance of an LOC because these perpetrators are sitting in Dubai. The Chhattisgarh police can't go and carry out a raid in the UAE. It has to be routed by the CBI through the Interpol. So where is the laxity at our end?
Okay.
Now, if you want to use the ED for your political purposes, then go ahead and do it.
Okay, Mr. Boparai, just stay with us. I want to now go over to Tuhin Sinha. If I could just tell all of my panelists before we go ahead that I'll come to each of you. I don't want any of us to talk over each other. Mr. Sinha, I want to come to you now, and I'm going to take you two key questions. One, part of what Mr. Boparai just said. when the Congress says, and this is something the Congress has said multiple times, it's not just Adil Bopai Rai on our show, the Congress has come on record and said this multiple times, that we were the first to chase down founders of this app to pursue cases in our own state. So I want to understand, what does the BJP have to say about that? And I also want to understand from you, sir, the Chief Minister himself on Friday said the ED is in very clean language saying that these are allegations that need to be investigated. So why is the BJP running 5 steps ahead, making accusations, sullying the Chief Minister's name on the basis of 2 people's statements? To that, what does the BJP have to say, sir?
Well, good evening, Toya. Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'm very surprised that on a channel like CNN, the Congress has made all kinds of false claims today. 450 arrests. Is there any corroborating link where you can prove that? He says they have requested 8 months back. Chhattisgarh government has requested 8 months back to ban the app. Is there any corroborating evidence to prove that? Were these things being done in secrecy? I'm aghast. I mean, Congress can get away with any kind of false claims, even on national television. Now, let me come to the point. Who has made these allegations? Asim Das, the handler, the first-hand handler who was found carrying the courier boy of the cash which was found. And very clearly, 5 crore worth of amount was something he was supposed to pay to the CM. 15 crores was linked to another slippery bank account, which was seized by the bank, and 508 crore, according to him and according to Shubham Soni, have already been paid. So these are grievous allegations, and obviously, is this the first allegation that has been made against the Chhattisgarh government? They are neck deep in at least 5 other similar scams involving money laundering, in all of which charge sheets have been filed. Now, what makes this case very unique is that we don't know who the real perpetrators are, because, Saurabh Chandrakar and Ravi Uppal again are supposedly only frontmen. Now, there were 4,000 panel operators in India for these apps, and a majority of them were operating out of Chhattisgarh, and each of them had about 200 clients who were depositing money and, investing in the bets. Can this magnitude of operations be possible without involvement of government officials, without involvement of local politicians? So obviously, money laundering cases are never easy to be proved. They take a long time, but the allegations are so direct, so pointed, that the CM has a lot to answer, and they just can't, brush it aside.
Okay, Mr. Sinha, Mr. Bopai Rai, just stay with me for a second. I'd almost ask you to note down what you have to say, because there are a number of very pertinent points that I want to get a Congress answer on, but I do also need to go to our other guests, because we do have...
Can I get a 30-second rejoinder,
quite
please?
One second, Adil.